Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm in a bit of a different place. Sorry about the lighting. I'm trying to make do with what I have. My youngest is asleep in my bedroom, which is where I normally do the recording, so I have to do it in my older kid's room. So here we are. Let me see if I can just turn that a little bit so maybe I'm not so much. Got this on my head. Right. Alright. So today we are doing the Tarot Pep Talk. And today's Tarot Tip... Why can't I speak today? Did I say that in the last one that I did? Tarot Tep Talks. Today's Tarot Pep Talk is on the Nine of Swords. And well, it's inspired by the Nine of Swords. I pulled a little bit of background. I pulled this card for my own personal daily reading the other day, and it seemed quite relevant for everything that's going on. I think that it would help other people right now. Basically, it's, to me, the thing that came down for me in this particular one is the nightmare is not your narrative, so don't let it become your narrative. And I think that this is something that everyone can benefit from. As you can see, I think both cards do from each deck. This is obviously the Prism of Visions, like I've said before, and this is the Rider-Waite-Smith. They both do a good job of narrating the meaning of this card for me, and how it is like a nightmare situation, that you feel like you're trapped and you can't escape from this thing. And this, especially in the Prism of Visions, it very much shows that paralysis of fear when you're faced with something that is happening to you, and you just, even though you want to run and you want to get away or you want to fight back, you're just paralyzed with that fear and you can't do anything, you can't move. And even though you know that this thing is gonna eat you, you can't move, you can't fight, you can't run, you're just letting it happen. And I think that is a really good thing to think about currently, and then in your life in general, whether you're watching this during the COVID-19 pandemic, or whether you're watching this at a much later date when all this sort of global stuff is gone. I think this is something that's very relevant to everyone's life. I think everyone has those moments when, all those periods of time in your life, because I think that's more what it's referring to, or what I want to refer to in this particular pep talk, is that you can go through periods of your life where you let that nightmare become your narrative, and you almost submit to this victimhood, and because you feel like there's no way out of it, but actually it's you that's letting this stuff become so big and so scary. Instead of fighting it, or instead of walking away from it, you're letting this thing happen to you, when there could be more that you could be doing, but you're so scared, and you're so scared of what's happening, and it's paralyzed you, and you're letting these bad things continue because you're so scared of the bad things that are happening. And when you say it like that, it doesn't make any sense. Like, why are you stuck? Why aren't you fighting back? Why aren't you walking away from the situation? And I totally get it, because I have had numerous periods of my life where I feel like completely paralyzed and completely stuck within a fucking awful situation, and no matter what, I just cannot move. I cannot get out of it. I can't fight back. My voice is it's stuck in my throat, and I feel like I want to scream and I can't, you know. And I think everyone has those times when in their life when things are just horrible, and things seem like it's an absolute nightmare. Like at the minute, we've got this pandemic going on, and everything seems like a nightmare. People are losing their jobs, people are losing their lives, people are losing their family members, and it's a very real thing. I think everyone knows someone who's affected by it, whether that means, like I say, that someone close to them has died or has been ill, or it could mean affected by it in the sense of they lost their job, or they're struggling financially because they're self-employed and they can't get any work now because there's nothing, there's no work because no one, or there's so many people now trying to do things from home that they're taking up all the work that the self-employed people would, freelancers would normally be doing. Do you know what I mean? So everyone has been, or knows someone that has been affected by the COVID situation, and it is terrifying. And we do think, like, when is it going to end, and how is it going to end? And you can always just like submit to what's going on and let that be, like, so catastrophic, or you can turn the situation of complete unknown and feeling completely out of control, and you can turn that on its head and do things that are productive, do things that are going to pull you out of this feeling, do things to not so much fight back, because there's not really much we can do, but to fight your own emotions, your own feelings, to fight the things that are pulling you down and making you feel low. Like, depression can be quite like that. Sorry, I'm not sat very comfortably. I'm trying to get in a space where I don't have the big blinding bit of light on my face. There's depression, and mental health in general can be very much like that. Like, you get stuck in this way of thinking, and you find it so very hard to fight against it. And that was the one thing that took me. So I used to suffer from depression. I say that I have recovered from depression now, because I don't go through those depressive episodes that I once used to. I have anxiety, and that's an ongoing battle, but the depression that I feel is definitely gone. But it took me the longest time. I was depressed from being a child to sort of in the last couple of years that I've managed to pull myself out of it. And the biggest battle was changing the way I think about things, changing my mindset, and changing the fact that you just feel stuck in this feeling, like stuck in the mindset. It's almost like you don't want to help yourself because you don't know where it's gonna go, and you feel you have like no motivation to change your mindset and to change those thoughts. But actually, that is the one major part of recovering from depression. That is the single biggest challenge, and yet the single biggest difference that it will make to your life, or it made to my life. I can only speak from my own experiences. I can't speak for everyone else, but I feel that other people who have made it through depression also say the same thing. So it must be more than just me. But changing that mindset so that you think positive, starting with small things like a gratitude journal, or I like to, because I'll light my candles and do my incense, and then I won't write it down because I don't tend to have concentrate. Why do I keep hitting my hoops today? I don't have the concentration. ADHD. I don't have the concentration to sit down and write. My mind will go elsewhere, so I tend to light my candles and I'll say, I'm grateful for my children, I'm grateful for my partner, and I'll count on my fingers. I'll count 10 things and that I'm thankful for, and I do that every single day. And that is like the first step in changing your mindset. And then the second thing is to make sure that you are being really proactive and really mindful about what you're letting be in your head, and how you're talking to yourself and how you're talking to other people. Just being mindful of your thoughts and how they're manifesting, because at the end of the day, if all you're doing is thinking negative things like, oh, this is gonna go wrong, or oh, I look so ugly, or oh, this is just gonna fail, or I'm a failure, or I'm stupid, you know, that if you're always saying that, then yeah, life isn't gonna get any better, because you can never see the good things. You can never see like the possibilities in life, because you're always just like putting your hands up and not taking chances and not doing the things that you could be doing, because you think everything's just gonna fail. And I know this because this is something that I have struggled with, and it took me the longest time, but that is such a big game changer in helping you just look at life in such a positive way, in so much more of a positive way, by just changing your thoughts. When you feel a bad thought come into your head and you say, oh, I'm so stupid, and then you can just change it around and go, actually no, everyone makes mistakes, these things happen. Or when something bad happens, you say, instead of being like, oh, life is so shit, these things always happen to me, just say, well, I'm grateful that I've had this experience, and now I know what to do in the future to avoid it, or I know that I can deal with this. I think I said this on another Tarot Pep Talk, where like you go through things because you're getting stronger, and I can't think of how to put it. To be where you are now, you had to have gone through all the other stuff, whether it's good or bad. Like some of the most horrendous things that I've gone through in my life, I am glad that I had to go through it, because if I hadn't, I wouldn't be here today. I wouldn't be with the people that I'm with. I wouldn't be with my partner. I wouldn't have my children. I wouldn't be half the person I am today, you know. And if I hadn't gone through that shit so as much as I wish that I hadn't have had to go through that to get to where I am, I know that I had to. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm trying to say? You have to go through crap to be able to get to where you're supposed to go. And everything, it doesn't happen for a reason, but there is an outcome. Well, it does happen for a reason. I'm not really sure. I don't believe in like fate, that everything is laid out for us, and no matter what we do, we won't change that. I don't think that, but I think that things will happen, and we will be given a choice, and we will make that choice. That choice will lead to the best outcome for us. Do you know what I mean? I hope I explained that anyway. It's hard enough to explain that to myself when I understand it. So, but yeah, this not letting the nightmare become your narrative, this is like a victim mindset sort of thing, where you're just referring to yourself as having depression or being that person that stuff happens to, and you turn that into your narrative, like you're defining yourself as someone who has depression, or defining yourself as someone who gets taken advantage of, or someone who is abused, or do you know what I mean? And you get stuck in that. Even, and I'm talking from experience here, because I've been in abusive relationships, and I took that narrative, and instead of using that to like help me to feel not empowered, but to be able to help other people, I used it very much and as a sort of like, not a safety blanket, but I took it on as my narrative, like, and it was like I kept myself locked in that experience because of the way I was using it to define who I was, instead of just knowing that that was part of my life and part of my life lessons, and something that is now I'm able to use to help other people and to inform other people. I wasn't using it in a positive way. I was using it to keep me stuck in that headspace. And that's what you have to be careful of. Be careful of getting stuck as the victim and using that as your narrative, because you are more than the bad things that have happened to you. You're more than your mental health. You're more than anything bad that is happening to you right now. You're more than the things that people do to you, the things that people have done to you. You're more than what people say about you, what you think about yourself. You're more than that. You are so much more than that. And you are keeping yourself from being your greatest self. You're keeping yourself from reaching your greatest potential by keeping yourself in that mindset, in that victim mindset, and defining yourself by the negative things instead of using them to help move you forwards and help you to grow, and using them as lessons in life, you know. So don't allow yourself to fall victim to victim mentality. Don't allow yourself to let the nightmare be your narrative, because the nightmare isn't your narrative. It isn't your narrative, and don't let it. Don't let the bad things that have happened or that are happening, don't let those things completely control your life. Don't let those things stop you from reaching your highest potential. Don't let those things prevent you from being your greatest good, from doing the greatest good that you can, because you have so much more to yourself. You have so much more to offer this world, and it's kind of being selfish by doing that, because at the end of the day you're stopping the rest of the world from learning from you, from experiencing your highest potential, from being able to learn life lessons from you, you know. So you need to just let go of that victim mentality and allow yourself the opportunity to be the best you that you can be. Because if you're feeling down right now and feeling lost right now, you deserve so much more than that, and there is so much more to life, so much more to life, and you don't know where you're going to be. So, like, once you let go of that, you don't know how far you can go. Let go of the things that are restricting you, that are keeping you from going for those big changes, from taking risks. Well, calculated risks. Use your common sense at the end of the day. I don't know why that cut off. I am nearly done though, so I just make sure that you are not allowing yourself to be held back and to be blocked by the things that have happened to you. To not let yourself be held back by your depression or your mental health illnesses. I say this from a place of having been there and having held myself back for a long time. I mean, I'm 30 now, and it's only been in the last couple of years that I've actually gotten over the depression and stopped letting my anxiety dictate to me what I can and can't do. I was agoraphobic for a very long time. I found it very difficult to leave the house and things like that, and I used it as a crutch, you know. I used my depression and my anxiety and my eating disorders. I used them as a crutch. I used them as an excuse to not go and do things, to not go and live life, because I was so scared of things going wrong. And now that I won't let them be an excuse for myself anymore, now that I won't let myself be defined as the mental girl, you know, as the person who's got all these illnesses, I won't let myself be defined by that anymore. And now that I'm not, I have so much more freedom. I have done so much. I enjoy life. Like, I actually do enjoy life now. You know, I've gone from being that girl who just wished that she could just not wake up the next day, or that was like purposefully starving herself to death. I've gone from that person to being the person that I wake up every morning and I'm excited for life. I'm excited for what is about to come, and I can promise you now that if you're going through anything like that, there is hope for you. There is hope for you, and I promise you that there is, because I am a fucking example of that. I am a shining example of being able to do a complete fucking 180 and come out of the worst, horrible situations and feeling the worst that you can about yourself, to loving life and loving everything that I have and everything that's coming to me. So yeah, that is me done. That is your Tarot Pep Talk for today. I will show you the cards again that inspired today's little pep talk. I hope that this helped some of you. I'm really sorry for the bad lighting. Hopefully next week this won't be so bad. I'm recording this straight after the weekly tarot one that came out on Monday, so if you're wondering why I look quite familiar today, here we go. So yeah, I thank you so much for watching. As usual, if you found this helpful, please comment down below, give me a little thumbs up, and if you're not already, I would love it if you subscribed. It just all helps me out so much, and helps me to know that I'm putting out the right content that is helpful for you guys, because that's what it's for. I want to be able to help people. So yeah, thank you for watching. It means so much to me, and I will see you all soon. Bye.